bombers of the 369th Bomb Group, they made navigational error. They had to break the radio silence. And these poor guys, eventually, instead of making it directly to Ploiesti, they go to, like, near Bucharest, which is like a city over. And so they're catching flak over there. They're getting shot at flak before they even get to their actual target. So
Yikes.
these poor guys, yeah. Now, the whole entire time, they're tracked by German radar. So
The Germans know they're coming.
they know they're coming, and that's the crazy thing. So they, of course, they alert each other. The Romanian Air Forces also play a role in this, and B-24s, they arrive over the target at treetop height, and they do not achieve the element of surprise at all.
Treetop height. Wait, I just got to stop you. That just hit me what you said. Let's just take all the combat stuff out of the scenario for a minute. Right?
Yeah.
No Germans, no guns, no bombs. Could you imagine flying a B-24 30 or 40 feet off the deck?
No, at like 22 years old, no.
Good God, that'd be terrifying, man.
I don't
and then
even
you
know.
add everything else back into it. I mean, you could practically reach out and touch the barrel of a flak cannon.
Yeah.
You know, if you're that low. That's low. That's a big bird.
I don't even like the drones. I don't even like to fly drones like 30 feet off the ground. It's like, that's dangerous.
Yeah, dude, you're at bird height, right? Like you're at bird flight height. So and you're in a propped vehicle.
Yeah.
You catch a flock of birds, you're done for.
Yeah.
Right in the ground.
Right.
No time to get out, nothing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, these guys, like anything, experts, and thankful for them. So, sadly, though, they're going to meet really intense flak, defensive fire, and German Bf-109s are now coming in. They got the Romanian Air Forces coming in, doing their job. Not, the Romanians have defense there, but not like the Germans do. And unfortunately, this is all supposed to be done in one wave. Like, all the bomb groups are supposed to stay together and then go over and hit their targets
All in one
wave.
One mass attack.
They're going to come through, because they're all separated, they're going to come through in like 3 separate waves.
Yikes.
And,
so it's already bad enough for the first wave.
Yeah.
But that second wave, they got like the flak gunners, they had the altitude dialed in now.
Yeah,
Like
everything.
they know where you're coming.
Right.
You know?
And the guys inside, they can see that, like, just in the bombardier seat, like looking ahead.
Can you
like,
imagine that?
there it is.
Yeah, the only thing I can kind of even relate to that is like having to ride in the back of a Humvee or in the gun of a Humvee and be going through an IED area, like an area that's known for having IEDs. The difference, though, and this makes them, in my opinion, just so much harder, man. Like they're just savage to see this and continue on. But we're not, like, if you're driving through an IED area, like a known IED area, you're not seeing them actively blow up in front of you as you're driving into it, right?
Right.
There's a chance you can get through there without hitting one. These guys are watching it actively blow up in front of them, these flak rounds.
Yeah.
And they still fly into it.
Yep. Not
Crazy.
turning back. These guys, they're just totally brave. They're just flying straight into the jaws of death, and they're not stopping. Like, these guys are determined, no matter what, that they're going to drop their payload on the target.
That's crazy, man.
No matter what it takes. So, unfortunately, the outcome of this raid, Operation Tidal Wave, is not favorable for the United States. It just goes terrible for them, but important, very important nonetheless. And then also, because of that, there's going to be 5 medals of honor awarded for this one bombing mission. So
that's
like
a ton, man. 5 medals of honor.
Yeah, it's the most
op.
awarded for any single bomber mission in all of American history.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and on top of that, there was like 56 Distinguished Service Crosses and all sorts of different awards.
Silver stars and bronze stars.
There's all sorts of stuff going on up there.
That's the thing. You could say this about any country. I'm biased, so I love the American warrior and the American, the ideal. But there's something about that, like, American fighting spirit that I do think is unique. And I'm saying this having acknowledged all my biases and previously or prior. But I've done ops with numerous other countries, and there's just something to me that is different about it could be any American from any state, any region of the country. Doesn't matter, man. There is something different about the fighting spirit of Americans, man.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Again, that's my biased opinion, but I feel like it's easy to see. they're willing to take it all the way, dude.
Yeah.
And thank God for guys like that, because that they're fighting a real evil at that time.
Yeah.
And to look death square in the eyes like that and keep on doing the mission, that's about as savage as it gets.
Yep. Savage, brave, amazing, patriotic. These guys are so young. But now I'll get into kind of the meat and potatoes here. One bomber from the 93rd Bomb Group by the name of Hell's Wench.
I like that name.
Flown by Lieutenant Colonel Addison Baker. Co-pilot was John Jurstad. Their plane is hit by flak some 3 miles from the target, and they're already like ripped wide open. And these guys they're leading their bomb group, and they decide, like in any event, that far away from the target, bombers, depending on the damage, they could either belly land or they could just turn around.
Get out of there.
There's always a few, like in any of these bombing missions, there a certain number of planes will take off, and then there's a certain amount of effective. So like say 200 take off, maybe 182 was effective on target, because sometimes the engines just break down or whatever. These guys could have just easily stopped what they were doing, turn around, but they were like, no, we're going to lead our bomb group into the target and strike. So heading into the oil refineries, leading their formation, they get over the target, they bomb it, trying to pull back on the reins to get this thing up, gain some altitude and get up out of this mess, because they're driving through like smoke and flames and all this craziness, and any part of the plane that's like blasted open and leaking fuel possibly. When they come through at these low levels, they come out of this smoke on the other side on fire, like when it was just leaking oil or gasoline before, now it's on fire. But unfortunately, these two guys, they were unable to pull the plane out, and the entire crew was killed in action. They had, even though they had 2 guys bailed out, they also were killed in action. And for their leadership and determination to lead their bomb group into hit their targets, they were posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, both of them.